Hey guys, this is the first board in my 5 boards repair series. This is the BioStar MB1212C 286 motherboard. It's a late model 286, what's referred to as a single chip AT. That means that most of the functions of the chipset have been integrated into a single chip on the board. Now it's in very good shape. The Varta battery had been removed before the board came to me, so there's absolutely no battery-related damage. As a matter of fact, this board actually works perfectly. There's nothing wrong with it. But there is something I would like to change. As you can see, it has socketed DIP memory and the option for 30-pin SIPP memory. Now, I don't have any 30-pin SIPPs, and quite frankly, I'm really not a fan of SIPP memory. So I'm going to replace those SIPP sockets with 30-pin SIM sockets. And for that, I'm going to use my vacuum desoldering tool. That'll heat up each pin individually and suck the solder out of the connection. So I've already added some additional solder to each of the pins, and we'll go down the line and desolder each pin individually. It's very important to make sure that every pin is properly cleared and that they move freely. Otherwise, when you remove the socket from the board, you can cause some damage. And here I am checking each pin one at a time to make sure they move. Then we'll remove the first socket. And as you can see, unfortunately, I did lift a trace on the board. That's not the end of the world. We'll fix that here in a moment or two. But for the other socket, I'm going to break out my hot air rework station. So I'm blasting those pins with 350-degree air and very gently pulling on the socket from the other side of the board. There we go. That socket is removed with no damage to the board. I'm going to run a bodge wire from the damaged trace down through the hole, and I'll check continuity on the trace in a moment or two. Let's cover that with a piece of Captain tape, just to give it a little bit more support. And that damage will be safely hidden underneath the SIM socket, so no one will ever know it's there. Now, when you're installing SIM sockets on a board, it's always a good idea to put the memory in the socket first. That keeps all the pins in proper alignment. Otherwise, they can shift during soldering. So those sockets are tacked in place. Before I solder all the pins, I'm going to use my multimeter to check continuity on that trace. And we should hear a beep. And indeed we do. Okay, so that trace is okay. Let's go down the line and solder all of the pins individually. Now, when I was reviewing the footage, I noticed I actually missed a couple of pins. And don't worry, I corrected that off camera. And once those are all soldered, I'll spray some isopropyl alcohol on the board and clean up that flux with a toothbrush. Okay, so now that the sockets are in place, let's install a video card and a multi-IO controller. Okay, so far so good. It sees my 500 meg disk on module. There's a copy of DOS 622 on there. And it's counting up the memory. It goes up to 3712K plus the 384K expanded memory for a total of 4 megs. And booting into DOS, you'll see an error message about EMM 386. It's trying to load the 386 memory manager, which on a 286 is obviously not going to work. But everything looks good in Check It. And now for the ultimate test. We'll pop into Commander Keen. And that looks good as well. So yeah, this project was really just for fun. Add some additional features to the board. Feel free to like and subscribe. And beyond that, thanks for watching.